commission meeting. And this is Christine Scott, chairperson, and we have something continue. So I think we have some guests. So before we get started, may I ask what our guests are here for?
What are you guys here for? Which,
Or
what is it?
Main Street.
Main Street?
Main,
Oh.
one, Main
One
Grove, Main and Grove.
Main and Grove.
I think they're all here for the ANRAD.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so at 7 p.m. we have a notice of intent for lot 1, South Street, which was continued from March 20th, 26th. So Mary, do you have any DEP number?
Yeah, so they have asked for a continuance because there
Okay.
is DEP number, so all of those need to be continued.
Oh, okay. So what time for all of those at our next meeting?
We can do them all at 7 o'clock again.
Okay,
That's fine.
excellent.
He's had those for quite a while, right?
Well, they
3
want,
months.
they want a water quality cert.
I saw that, I don't understand that, but
That's, they called Susan and asked for that.
yeah, it's weird, because, I mean, it's a small fill,
Right.
it's less than 5,000 square feet, so
Yeah.
normally it's less than
So-
that.
We have a motion to continue lot 1, South Street until the 23rd of April at 7 p.m.
All same time? Can we do all of them at the same time, Chris?
Okay, can we do lot 1, lot 2, lot 3, and lot 4, all of them for 7 p.m. on April 23rd?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second,
Okay, let's do a voice vote. Chris, aye.
Tom, I.
Mike,
Marcella, I.
Okay, it's a unanimous vote of the members present. Thank you. And we can wait till 7:05 for lot, the RDPA for 41 Milford Street. Was that going to continue also, Mary?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also being continued. I think we can go ahead and continue it since
Okay,
there's no information presented.
okay. We have a motion to continue the RDA for 41 Milford Street until April 23rd at 7:05.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Do you have a second?
Second,
Okay, let's do a voice vote. Chris, aye.
Tom, I.
Mike, aye.
Marcella, I.
Okay, it is vote of the commission. Okay, so we have a little bit of time for the ANRAD for 1 and 3 Milford Street. So Mary, what would you like to fill in for our next little bit of time?
We can start the agent report.
What time? What do you want? What time is there?
It's 7:20.
Okay, just carry. All right. So it'll
We're
be
very efficient
20
tonight.
minutes. We bring up. Quite a while.
All right, come down the picture. So this is 63 Fisk Mill Road. I guess there was an RDA for a septic, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And there's a new owner to the house and he's not very happy with the way the septic mound is. It's a very steep slope off the mound. He feels like the lawn is just eroding away, partly because there's so much water coming down the hill behind him. So he has like drainage issues. And thankfully I found the filing which shows where the wetland line is, because I didn't want to ask him to do a delineation, but he would love to put more to make that bank less steep, but it's gonna put him right up next to the wetlands. So he's thinking about it. I told him he did have to file for it. It's just seems like it's unfortunate situation there.
She could establish, more resilient ground cover.
Instead of the grass.
Instead of
Yeah,
grass.
What can you put on a septic?
Well, I mean, it's partly the edge of the grass and partly the slope seems relatively stable, but. And he's got, of course, trees in the wetland. I don't know if it's wetter than it used to be, but they're all falling over and he's a little upset about that too.
Well,
Yeah, there's nothing we can really do about that. So, but he'll probably be coming before us. I did go out there for a site visit on his request. Just pre-construction meeting for 164 Westboro Road, nothing terribly interesting. This is 66 Taft Street. And I saw this as I was going for a walk. I mean, they've been working at this yard for a long time. I don't know what they're doing. But there is a stream right here. A little intermittent stream, and it just seems like maybe, of course, I have like 3 levels of grade still, but maybe a letter might be appropriate, just so you're aware. Is just be careful about the runoff and the resources.
what is,
What are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. They've got machinery, I should have taken a bigger panorama. They've got machinery sitting over to the right, a little bit of dirt. I don't know what they're doing in the lawn. It's not really obvious. It's just disturbed. Basically,
I think a letter would be appropriate.
yeah. And then it's just. They're fixing the air slip fence. It's not too bad. Yeah, this is basically just everything's fine. There's a few things up top to talk about. Yeah, so we need to, Claflin Farm, they're getting ready to do the street acceptance. And next they're not quite ready for the certificates of compliance, but they'll probably be in the next meeting. But one thing they discovered while going through the process is one of the orders was never, well, I can't even find a copy of an issued order. Like I have like a scan of the whole thing without signatures, but it wasn't recorded. We don't seem to have a copy. They don't have a copy, so we need to issue it. So that's, I guess we still only have 3 members here tonight, but maybe someone can stop by tomorrow. But we do need to sign that so they can get that, and they're trying to get that approved at town meeting, so they're hoping to move along quickly in that. And I'm gonna talk about the Plain Street issues, I think, later. Yeah, so we can do like the bills and stuff like that. So we have 2 vouchers. One is for the signs that we voted on purchasing, or the signs about picking up the dog. Those signs.
Good luck.
I know. It's an ongoing battle. And that was, let's see, what were those? I don't remember how much that was. That one's like $225. And then the other one is just my mileage, which was like $46 or whatever. So 2 vouchers.
Could we have a motion to pay our vouchers?
so moved. Second,
All in favor? Let's do a voice vote. Chris, aye.
Alan, I.
Like,
Marcella, I.
It's a unanimous vote of the commission.
Shannon is needs to be promoted to panelist. She's here.
Running
Oh,
out of
great.
chairs.
Sandy, we can sign our people.
Shannon, I.
Hi, Shannon.
And everything is just the balance sheet, hasn't changed much. It's just a change in the expenses for those two items.
What's going on with the Beavers?
Right, so I realized since what we had was a proposal, I finally sent an email to Kenny today and said, are you gonna release this money if we tell him to do it? Cause he obviously can't, he's not gonna bill us until he does the work,
Right,
so.
and he's not doing the work, so I'm telling him.
So I emailed Kenny today and hopefully, and Joe, I talked to Joe, Joe's like, it's fine, but Kenny's the one in the end who pays the bills, so I just wanted to chat with him. And then I don't seem to have his contact information, so once I'm here, I'll let you just contact him.
All right, thank
That'd
you.
be great. So that's the deal with the Beavers. Any questions about finances? And then we have minutes. Yes, and we're very happy to have Lauren on board. She's worked 2 Fridays. So far, she's working remotely, but she's working on minutes. It's great.
Perfect.
She's done 2 sets, but I only have 1 set ready for you guys.
Okay,
So it's the December set of minutes.
did everyone have a chance to review those? So do a motion to accept the minutes from,
Second,
okay, all in favor? Let's do a voice vote. Chris, I.
all night. Alan, aye.
Okay.
Marcella, I.
Shannon, I.
That's a unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, so I guess the other thing I want to make sure we talk about is since it's vernal pool season, I don't know whether anybody's been out and about, but besides the one on at Puddin Street, are there other ones we should be looking at?
Pleasant Woods and
Pleasant
Fossil.
Woods,
We have some time.
okay. I think so. Only 2 new filings for next meeting. They're easy ones. So,
I think it's just, let us know when you want to go up there and like, hopefully I can join you.
Okay.
And anyone else who wants.
Okay, should we go on to open space?
yes, we should.
Okay. How about our open space report?
So,
Bill's not here.
yeah. Nice.
He's on his way to town hall, so.
Okay. Okay,
Yes,
so
Says
we'll-
it's, part of the assessor is open.
how about
Yes, please, yeah.
how about the land stewardship?
Hold on, hold on.
Mike or Marcella, do we have a land stewardship report?
Bill's here for open space.
Okay. Wow,
Oh,
perfect
wait.
timing.
Yes,
Oh, you're on.
I can report that the appraisal for the Bay Mountain Road property was completed. And so for the rear 66 acres as is, it was valued at 264,000. And I was working with Tony Schiavelli of SBT, and that is without any access at all. If you adjust it, you can give it, according to the appraiser, a 10% add, or if there was an access, trail access. So that would, I think that comes up to 290,000. And then the CRs were valued at 106 without access and 130, I forget, 130 to 160 with access. with trail access. So those are the numbers. I passed that information along to the owners, and they're going to mull and interpret and try to understand. They'll get back to us. And there's been no movement on any of the other projects we're working on.
Any
Okay.
questions, for Bill? Thank you, Bill.
It's
Oh, how about, Land Stewardship Committee?
It's Mike, well, the committee did meet this month again, we had probably a quorum. So there was really no activities, this month to speak of. There's a request for materials on the agenda later on. We can talk about. I don't know if Marcella would like to add.
Community
Okay,
garden. Community garden had, let's see, we didn't advertise at all. We got 8 new interested people. There were only 6 beds available, so it's still. And even the current gardeners, I keep telling them, if there's extra beds and there's one, they can have a second bed, but I always get rid of their second bed at the end of the season, so the demand is there, for sure.
excellent. How about the certificate of compliance for 146 Westboro Road?
Yeah, they didn't, the paper copy of that did not arrive in my mailbox till today, so that's not happening till next week.
Okay, okay. And let's see. How about, materials purchased for Robertson's Boardwalk?
What?
The
Oh,
materials.
the materials. Yeah, I've got it, looked into purchasing the materials for the long 120 foot long boardwalk at Robertson Family Conservation Restriction. I'm hoping to be able to begin work on that boardwalk this late spring, summer. And the materials, I've got a cost estimate for stringers with the 4x6x16 pressure treated. 20 of those should be adequate, and then potentially a granite step which we could install at the Fowler Street boardwalk, which was just constructed, and then some nails. I think that's, and also some metal plates. I think $750 for purchase all of that, all those materials. So Land Stewardship didn't meet this month, so I thought I would ask the Conservation Commission for authority to purchase those materials.
So moved.
Do a second?
Second,
Okay, let's voice vote. Chris, I.
aye.
Alan, I.
Mike?
Sandy, I.
Marcella, I.
Shannon, I.
Okay, it's a unanimous vote of the commission to go ahead and purchase those materials, Mike. Thank you. Now, how about the stormwater permitting?
Let's push that off till after our hearing.
Okay. And we have 2 minutes.
This open space extension, will that take 2 minutes?
Yeah, probably not, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
Well, we received a pleasant letter from the state, EA, that they're allowing us to extend the open space plan by 3 years. If we submit what's called the action plan, updated to include 10 years by September. The current action plan is 7 years. That's what's required at the time. So if we can kind of revise that action plan, add 3 years, we gain 3 years for not having to update the open space, which is critical. But the current open space plan is dated in 2020. So that'll get us to 2030, but we need to update it. So I guess I don't know if we need to make a motion now, but we can open space and commission and recreation and start to work on that update. We've got a few months to do that. I also asked the Lakes, Ponds and Streams Community Chair if he wanted to be involved, because that's a new committee, but Well, they could conceivably have some action items.
Does anyone have a question about this? Okay, Mike, we have a motion to vote on this, to approve it.
The motion is to just move forward with drafting. Yes. Okay, you're fine, okay.
We'll still vote again to accept your.
Okay.
Do you have a second?
Second,
Okay, let's move it. Voice vote. Chris, I.
Tom, I. Alan, I.
Okay.
Sandy, I.
Marcella, I.
Ann and I.
Okay, unanimous vote with the commission. Thank you, Mike. Now we have 7:20. The RDA for 41 Milford Street was being continued. It was 7:05 to 7:20. We have the ANRAD 1 and 3 Milford Street, 1 and 2 and 0 Grove Street.
Sorry, I can read notice. Public notice is given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act that the Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, April 9th at 7:20 PM. An ANRAD filed by the town of Upton for the review of a wetland delineation at 1 and 3 Grove Street, or 1 and 3 Milford Street. That's it.
Okay, so
Pull up the plan, Mike.
Please. So, Mike Antonellis, Director of Land Use and Inspectional Services. I filed this plan on behalf of the town. The town of Upton is the applicant. And we're joining us, Brenda Thompson, who is the owner of the Thompson Block, which is just one Milford, yes. 1 Milford Street, so she's been kind enough to put her signature on that ANRAD as well as being an owner of the property, so thank you for that. So as you see here tonight, this is the plan that was filed. The resource areas were delineated by BSC Group. There was a memo from BSC Group that was in the submittal for you all that just went through their process for identifying the resource area. The resource area we are identifying through this ANRAD is the riverbank area, which creates the 200-foot riverfront. So, Marion, I believe that's the blue line. Is it the blue line?
So the riverfront area is yellow, 200 foot is the yellow.
Here, Mary, could
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Could you increase that in size?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I should.
Oh, yeah, it's that blue. It's not the
That
red
goes to
line. The
green.
red line is the property line.
Yeah.
The yellow line was the 200, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the edge of bank is delineated, and obviously you have the yellow, which is the 200-foot riverfront. So that is the area in question for the ANRAD tonight. The BSC Group emailed me today wanting to stress that what we don't want to have certified through this filing is the FEMA floodplain. Because there's concern that the contours on the ground are different from what is found, through LiDAR, what FEMA maps are based on. So BSC Group had identified for us a way forward to change basically the FEMA floodplain based on existing conditions out there. So after this filing, we'll probably pursue that with the Army Corps. So just a little bit of history. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with this block and obviously Holy Angels and what the town has attempted to do on it in the past. The town had put out for 2 requests for proposals within the last 3 or 4 years. And with no bites. Nobody wanted to take us up on that offer to take over Holy Angels and probably by extension Thompson Block as well. So no interested developers, no interested property, potential property owners. Some of the feedback the town received when we got the lack of response for that was the uncertainty of these particular parcels because of the existence of Centerbrook right there and the impact that the 200-foot riverfront area would have. So this is just the first step towards figuring out what can be done over there, essentially. So I'll be BSC Group will be giving a presentation to the select board next Tuesday on the 15th to go over a whole slew of development options that they've sort of gamed out, showing, potential building here, potential building there. And as part of that report, they will generate a permitting analysis to show us if this type of vision were to be achieved, you'd have to go through all this sort of permitting and in order to achieve that vision or one of the visions. That's obviously not before you tonight. There's no selected development option because we don't have anybody who's looking to do anything on that site. This is just basically step one, to identify the resource area and then basically take it from there.
Excuse me, the resource area that you're speaking of is the red line coming down this way to the far right?
The red line
Correct.
is the property lines.
It's the property line.
So, but I mean, that does cut very close to the bank, the river bank.
It's the line with the numbers here.
Yeah,
So the
which are the
resource
flags.
area is to the green line,
It actually extends all the way to the yellow.
all the way to
Yeah.
the yellow line.
so yeah, across the street. Right,
Yeah.
that's 200 feet from that blue
Just
line,
wanted
which
to
has the
clarify.
numbers on it.
But because it's previously altered, there's different standards, but yeah, that's
Ballpark type,
Yeah.
area, okay.
right. Like if there was nothing here, right now the law would say you can't touch this. Like say it was all trees and there were no roads, but that's not the situation. So. But the law does require that anything that goes in there has to be an improvement, so who knows what they're gonna propose, but they're probably gonna have to propose like a planting area to make the bank a little bit more natural.
Okay, so Mary, what's your review of this?
Yeah, I went out and looked at the wetland flags and everything looked good. I have a few pictures, if I can find them. I did look at the soils in the floodplain and they're not hydric. The thing to note that Centerbrook is just a reminder for us, Centerbrook is a cold water fishery. And there's wetlands on the other side. So this is looking up towards the bridge. The channel is very well defined and even, with old granite up there. And looking down, it gets a little bit leveler as we approach that's Rushford's right there. And it opens up broader. The wetlands are across on the other side, but on the kind of the town-owned side, it's still a relatively steep bank and fairly straightforward. And the water was relatively high, so it's kind of thing. And they did not try to delineate, usually you delineate mean annual high water, which is perhaps what we're seeing right now, the kind of the flood zone. They delineated the top of the bank, so it's a little further back just to be safe. And I was comfortable with that.
Any questions from the commission?
Is it worth noting that there is an order of conditions on part of this property?
Yes, so, yeah, we should make note of that. There is. And so, there's actually several open orders of conditions. There's still an open order of conditions for the community center. I imagine that's, hopefully will get closed out soon. And then the Grove Street Bridge, which is moving forward, is it moving forward soon, Mike, do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's moving forward soon. And as a part of the Grove Street Bridge and the community center ones, they are already replanting this section here. It's gonna have I don't know, I can't remember how wide, but a 5 to 10 foot strip
it's
that is
10.
being
Supposed to be
revegetated.
some bounds.
Yep, so that section is already, and a little bit on this side too. That section is already slated for improvement. So, yeah.
Any questions from the audience? Please let us know your name and where you live.
Me?
If you want, if
to.
any
have
of
a
you have
question?
questions.
Question.
No, I couldn't hear it too well. No,
Do you understand everything that's happening and what's going on?
Yeah, I went down and I looked at everything,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, and I did sign that I would keep it for a while
Mhm.
for the town. My husband wanted it for years, so. But I don't know, you know, as long as as long as we keep going with it, but. I have all good renters, thank God.
so what do you think, what are the hopes for that area? What do you have any
What do you mean?
preferences on what you would like to see done?
No, I don't have any. I mean, it's a sensitive topic because it's, the Holy Angels Church is
That's
a
holding
sensitive
everything up.
topic, yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's good.
it really has to be what the
Unanimous
community
type
wants, yeah,
Community?
yeah.
That will be good.
I mean, I can tell you what might be marketable and sustainable, and the answer to that is housing, because that seems to be the only thing.
That's
right
what
now.
everybody wants,
Yeah.
yeah.
Housing and retail.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that's what is desired, right? So, and I don't know if we can find a developer who would want to do that, especially with a church. So, but
Yeah.
the aim right now is the desire has been expressed to maintain the church, so we're also evaluating all options.
Do they
I
have any
believe-
restrictions on how they want the church maintained or just?
We haven't gotten that far now. If, I think if and when we finally get to another RFP and we're finally, able to put, out an RFP and get a successful bidder, we'll probably enter into a land development agreement, and that's when we'll hammer that down to dictate what, if anything, the town wants to happen with the church, with any new owner or any new developments, right? We'd have to have that conversation with them and say, you're keeping this, we don't care if you get rid of this, you're keeping this, we want it to look like this, and that would all be folded into a development agreement. But we're not there yet.
I believe we're going in the right direction this time. I've been involved in this downtown project. Cause I owned 8 Grove Street with my uncle, and I owned the parking lot with my uncle. It's on Thompson Oil property. And there was a lot of designs put out there, contractors were all afraid. You weren't gonna go spend thousands of dollars to buy property, but they didn't know what they could actually do with it because of conservation. And town of Upton had that 100-foot buffer. So maybe this time we're going in the right direction. We find out what a contractor can do with the property when he purchases it. Spend a lot of money when he buys a church, buys my aunt's property, buys a parking lot. And the other parking lot that I sold to the town. Then they can put up a building that they can make enough money to make it worthwhile. To do the project.
So that's the 3 owners. I sort of missed that part.
Yeah, well-
Yeah, you and,
Me and my uncle George were the last owners of the Thompson property. And he's passed on my aunt's, the owner of 1 Melwood Street, which she would like to sell the property. But she's willing to hold on to it for a little while to see if this process works. And probably yeah.
I had a tenant say to me tonight, if it wasn't for you and your husband not charging us much rent, he said, I would be on the street. This guy works 24 hours a day. And he said, we don't charge him much.
You have excellent tenants. Yeah,
They're all good tenants.
they're excellent tenants and housing, so there's housing there. It's just the new stipulations that will be coming in, I'm sure that, like he said, the builders wanna know, and that would help in the aid of selling it and moving forward. If we can set something up, as long as it doesn't restrict my art. But, yeah, definitely having some type of rules already set up, standards, so when we come in, it would make it much easier.
And the builder will know what he can do. You're gonna get all the Army Corps of Engineers and a whole process of what they're gonna allow.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, this is the first of probably many applications.
Yeah, this is gonna take a little time. Yeah, I understand. It's not gonna happen tomorrow.
No,
What's our next step?
But you know, when I have
There's no DEP.
two purchase and sales agreement on Main Grove Street,
Decide to sell.
and they wanted to put that
That's
library
my
in.
restrictions then.
They didn't wanna pay for the land because they own the land in the parking lot, but
Oh,
if
yeah.
they would have bought my property, they would have still had their parking lot up on the top of the hill. They would have had a library and a parking lot. Or a walkway, to it.
My name is Nancy Leclerc. I'm in a butter, 10 Milford Street, I got the letter. I live next to the dam. And I'm really concerned about it. It's not working correctly. They can't change it. They can't do anything. And there's problems with who owns it, the town, the state? Does anybody here know? Who's in charge of the dam? If the dam blew, everything down below is going.
Is the dam a state thing, you don't know?
I believe it's owned by the town.
I believe that the state gave it to the town. That's what I heard. I mean, I've lived there 55 years, so that, I've heard different things over time. We depend on the pond for the sporting goods store. We rent canoes and kayaks right down in the water, and we teach kids how to fish. I had a Boy Scout troop come and they're working on their fishing badge. And they went out and fished and came in my kitchen and cooked their fish, because that was part of the deal, yeah, yeah. I mean, as a kid, I've lived in town 80 years. As a kid, I remember skating out there
Right.
Sure.
So
in
does-
September.
Has it been
October.
inspected? Has the dam been inspected? You're concerned about the dam?
It has been inspected, the last inspection was November,
Think about it.
it was November 2022 as it was inspected. And it's got some issues.
Yeah, I think a lot of the boards at the bottom have washed out. I remember one time there was a girl out there in a rowboat. And she got swooped in and she came out and we all ran to the other side and she came right out okay.
Yeah, there's a
Luckily,
Guardian angel.
yeah,
10-foot drop there.
yes, yes.
So, but one thing I know the town,
Got more for her body,
there's,
huh?
there's a Lakes Pond and Stream Committee and.
Only in the
yeah,
small
Oak
town.
Pond and Pratt Pond,
Oh, okay.
gonna do a
The
management.
new dam at Pratt Pond is fabulous.
Yeah.
You can work that any which way you want. You can open it, close it, but not the dam next to me.
One thing that, I believe the town has agreed to do is, the stop loss in the outlet of the Mill Pond Dam are leaking
Mhm.
under low flow conditions. Pond drops below the top of the dam,
Mhm.
which is why you lose a part of your pond almost
You
every
do.
summer.
Last summer was horrendous.
I know, I've been talking to your husband about it.
My son, Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry, your son. But anyway, I believe, DPW has agreed to try to replace those stop logs this summer. And they should be, Mary, they should be talking to the commission about how they're gonna do that at some point. There was a thought, maybe they didn't do the engineer, and they think we can.
Now with the beavers down in Centerbrook? Is that where the beavers went?
Beavers are all over the place.
Yeah, they go where they want.
Near the vehicle.
Well, I had them out behind my house. I live at the house at sporting goods store and I had them out. And they
There,
took down a tree that ended up in my pool. My son-in-law had to come over and take it out for me and, I mean, but I don't think they're out there anymore. So I think they went downstream.
It may not be, it's ephemeral, they don't stay someplace forever.
Yeah.
And they're territorial, so if there are beavers there, others don't move in. So until, they eat the food, they do what they need to, and then they grows back and more come back.
And last year we had at least 15 otters out there.
Yeah, otters are all over.
Yeah,
They're fun,
The trap.
They're so cute on the ice.
funny.
Oh. But thank you for answering my question.
Sure.
I'm glad you're looking into it
So
because
hopefully that'll happen this.
we are concerned and you've talked to my son Jeff and you can see how concerned he is too.
Yeah. I mean, it's partly, he said it's partly an economic concern because when the pond level drops, there's less opportunity to rent kayaks or canoes.
Oh, last summer it was horrendous,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, so,
with the drought we had.
so it's an economic issue as well. with drought down.
Any other questions? Or discussion? Mary, do we have a number for this?
Yeah, no, there's no DEP number yet, so we need to continue it.
This. How about 7:20 on our April 23rd meeting?
Sure.
So we have a motion to continue this.
Okay,
Okay, let's do a voice vote. Chris, I.
Online,
Alan, I.
Like,
Sandy,
Marcella, I.
Okay, it's a yes vote of the commission.
oh my God.
It will continue this until April 23rd at.
All right, thank you.
yeah, have a good night. Goodbye. Have a nice evening.
Okay, now. We have our 7:30, which was the request for information. For 75.
Mention, is
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Thank you.
And you can, you don't actually, the city, if you don't want.
Am I getting confused?
You could, let's do it from home. So it's up to you. You're welcome now.
the selectmen meet upstairs.
The more information that you have, the better you want to make decisions.
Not like it's a long commute.
I didn't want to make
No,
this long.
not-
Say, it's not like it's a long commute.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, Mary, our RDA
Good evening.
75.
That's funny. That's just one or?
That's just one, that's the classical part.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our RDA for 75 Elm Street. Is that one? continue?
That, I haven't heard anything from him, and I believe he was, I need to touch base with him, but last time he wasn't ready at all, so.
So should we put that on our next meeting as well?
Why don't we give him till May?
Okay,
So. Let's see. The May meeting, next meeting in May would be the 14th.
okay, how about May 14th?
Sure, I think that's good.
At 7:30,
Yeah.
okay, do a motion to continue this. RDA for 75 Elm Street until May 14th. At 5 seconds,
Second.
let's do a voice vote. Chris, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Marcella, I.
Okay, that's unanimous vote of the commission. So, is there anything that we did not anticipate?
Yeah, so I would like to briefly talk about Plain Street issue. If you guys remember, Stephen Earl
Yeah.
and,
The electric bike and the blah, blah, blah.
yeah. Yeah, so he has been, there's residents there who throw the dog poop into the woods, and he likes to hike in the woods, so he's been cleaning it up. They're getting frustrated with it, so he collected a bag of the cleaned up poops, and he left it on the sidewalk, and he made a sign, you know, please don't do this. They took it away like a week later, or I don't know how many days later, so he did this maybe once or twice. Unfortunately, this upset a nearby resident, and I just wanna make you aware. So this is going, I'm meeting with Joe tomorrow, she's going for a restraining order against him for this activity.
Picking up poop.
Yeah,
For picking up other people's poop and trying to raise awareness so that people will take care of their poops.
So who's doing that? Who's taking the restraining?
well, I mean, I think there's definitely back and forth, I mean, they both volatile people, so I think there may have been.
And this,
So why does this?
Who's the other
why-
person?
Why does this involve us?
because we own the land.
Yeah, I think
It's conservation.
Okay.
And this,
With-
one
Or-
parties wants to close it off to the public.
so this may be something, the one person is very interested in asking the town to. Well, thinks that we shouldn't be allowing people to walk from the railroads onto the. to the
We don't.
town. So, but anyway, I just want you to be aware this issue is coming up again. And I'm meeting with the town lawyers tomorrow and the town administrator and Mike.
Marcella, question.
Yeah, is, how serious are they about denying the public access because of this? You know, that concerns me.
She just said it's one person.
Yeah, so that one person's requesting it. I know she's been talking a lot with Joe. I think Joe's stated it's not really the town's, but I think he wants to find all the legal ramifications. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be open to shutting it down.
Yeah, I think the shutdown is the commissions. Because
Right.
we,
And shutting it down over what is essentially a neighbor dispute that doesn't involve us really seems ridiculous.
Would this involve the Board of Health?
Oh, right. Well, the poop issue is, you know, it's
Well,
actually,
plastic bags.
right, well, it's still like under our stormwater bylaw, it's illegal. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of problems with that.
I mean, people.
We have proving you poop sign.
I know.
I just wanna say, in my neighborhood, that happens. People pick up poops with their bags and then they flip it into the woods
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it hangs off the trees.
exactly.
One
And
on
I'm
one,
like-
they do it, they're
Yeah.
walking the trailer,
They
they
have
poop
to
in
do
the
it.
trailer, grab it and throw it in the woods.
In a plastic bag,
Yeah,
colorful, hanging from the
Yeah.
trees. It's like Easter egg.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I just assume people send their dogs to
like
poop in the
people-
woods.
Stallion against using the bags, yeah, I'll pick it up.
No, I think they think they're doing you a favor so you don't step in it. And then they don't wanna carry it. They used to throw it in other
Well,
people's
both-
trash
But
buckets.
both
on
dogs
the
are
roads.
foolish.
I've watched people pick up poop, walking by people's trash bucket, lift it up and put it in it.
Yeah, well, that's, I don't know, that would be better than the other
No,
two
it's not better,
options.
it's not better.
Well, if it's just
You should
going
put it in
out,
their own bucket.
Yeah, pick it, you know.
Yeah, it's your job, your stuff, you take care of your stuff.
it's much more sanitary to just kick the poop in the bush into the hole with your toe, you know,
it's gonna be.
cause it's
Right,
gonna,
yes.
it's gonna just be fertilizer in a little while, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
Mary, can I ask a couple questions?
So
One,
you have to go to a meeting,
I'm sorry, yes, I do.
I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
Right, do you need
Um,
our support?
Chris, I have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
I guess one is, would you like someone from the commission to be at this, meeting? That's the first question. Let me,
Yeah.
second question is, has the abutter who, is one of the participants in this discussion,
Well, we've got the
Has she-
collector and the
let-
complainer.
let me finish. Has she posted her property in any way? Which I think had been a suggestion.
Yeah, that she
Um,
has.
And then my next question is, was this on the agenda? I thought I saw it. Did you add it to as a,
Well, it was in my agent report, so.
okay, so, I'm asking that question because I wonder if it's appropriate or not. If it's appropriate, I would make a motion to, that the commission, opposes any closure of the conservation land to the public.
Right, I think probably we'd have to wait till it was on the
Okay,
agenda.
then that's,
But
that's
I
why I
can
asked.
give the
You can let-
town council the general opinion.
Yeah, I mean, is there any, I can pull the commission, is there any objection to that position on,
Right, we should
at this
decide
point,
what we think, yeah.
and we plan on voting at our next meeting?
Not gonna shut down.
So
For our next meeting, can we make this a specific agenda item to discuss?
Yes, we can.
So that way,
Agree with you, Mike.
the people would be aware that's being discussed.
Yeah.
The big poop issue.
Maybe we could put a tariff on poops.
You don't do it up in your area, right?
It should be, it should be a big tariff.
Alan, they don't do it in your area.
Um,
All your
no,
neighbors,
I know,
your neighbors are all the walkers.
I do
so
see it in the hiking trails,
People just,
plastic bags of poop, which is always
Yeah.
baffling.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have
So
to
it's-
stay forest and
okay,
just,
so it's kind of a thing.
It is a thing. It's
Yeah.
a thing everywhere.
Everywhere.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
Every-
just somebody that
everywhere.
was trying to make one of my neighbors angry.
no, it's just people, they don't wanna take it
Everywhere
back home.
people walk their dogs, it's
What are
everywhere.
they gonna do with it?
I-
They don't know what to do with the bag.
That's what they take it home.
Maybe they
Blow it
don't, maybe they don't want the poop in their fancy car, I don't know, it's strange. It's bizarre
You need
behavior.
to carry like a little.
But I don't know why you'd have to have a bag
Double
for
bag
walking
it.
your dog through the state forest, as long, just don't let it crap in the trail.
And technically, we don't even know, I mean, maybe the poop is being deposited on the sidewalk. by the
Sidewalks are
dogs,
different.
And then it's picked up. Do we even know that someone is going into the woods
Well,
and pulling it out of the woods? Do we know?
yes,
We do know that.
he was doing that. He was pulling them out of the woods.
It was, okay.
Well, that's a service to clean up the woods. I
It
like
was.
that.
Yep,
Well,
Are they plastic bags biodegradable?
but it was only
They're
along.
poop
it was
bags,
on the
I
other
don't
side
think
of the
so.
road. Wasn't in that area.
Some of them
So-
are and some of
It was
them
on the
aren't.
other side of- Yeah, it
Poop
wasn't,
bags.
it wasn't,
it wasn't on the disputed side of the
I don't
road.
think it was on the disputed side, it was on the other side.
Oh, so this is not our little friends down. This is up at the other end.
No, same, man.
Is it the
It's the
same?
other side of the road.
Other side of the
Yeah,
road.
same.
Yeah.
It's the railroad side of the road.
That's a
Okay.
good, yeah,
Well,
Poop was being deposited on the river side of the road. Do I understand that right?
yeah,
let's give Shannon the floor.
Thank you, Chris.
so
I guess I have a question. It's not directly related to poop, but it's somewhat related to poop. Just it being Earth Month, I know there's like some cleanups going on. I wasn't sure if the town was offering free bags, possibly.
Okay.
Bags are,
No,
Yeah.
not poop bags, trash bags as part of this poop cleanup effort, but just as a town.
No, we're just saying.
Shannon, unfortunately, there has been a Earth Day cleanup in Upton for many years, and the woman who's doing it stepped down and she could not find anyone to replace her.
Well, she didn't call me. I would have done it.
jump right
Right.
in, jump right in.
Well,
Is
Not too
management-
late. We do have grabbers,
yeah,
safety vests, and I think we still have some bags from last year, all at the DPW. And the DPW can order you purple bags if you want to do that. So I would encourage you to check into that because we have what you need. We have gloves too. All this
Great.
stuff kind of got put aside from last year.
Great.
That was great, Shannon.
Thank you. My dad and I hike a lot, and like he has made it like a personal mission to clean up some of the trails, and he's just like, I can't keep buying Upton trash bags to
No.
clean up other people's garbage. So
That's some
Yeah.
powerful. I know.
Also, the person to, if you want to get in touch with the woman who did it before, it was Lynn Haggerty. Do you know?
okay, I know her name.
Yeah, she might be able to give you some thoughts on how to proceed if you wanted to organize it.
Great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah, I can just have her email. I can give that to you if you need it.
Thank you.
And thank you.
That would be
So-
great if you could take over doing some of that, because I think people really miss it. It was very organized, but it's a lot. I'm not gonna tell you it's not a lot of work, because it is, especially for one person, so.
Yeah, I organized one when I was in college of my college campus, so I have a little experience with organizing cleanups, and I would definitely be interested in at least talking.
Excellent.
I'm right in.
Mary, can you add that to our agenda next time?
Yeah, Shannon, are you thinking for this year, like in 2 weeks from now or whatever?
I will get in touch with whoever I can tomorrow, and if I can make it happen, I will.
That's great, because I mean, certainly the town, the select board, they have this email blast to residents and stuff that we could certainly. And after the meeting's done, I'll email you Lynn's number, and I think she would jump on that pretty quickly. She was disappointed not that anyone was willing to do it. So,
Great.
Give her Bill Taylor's contact.
yes, okay.
From the DPW.
That would be, I know, I was thinking about that too. I was disappointed that was not going forward. I didn't really want to grab it.
So that would be great. So that way we don't have to worry about poop anymore.
Yes.
Well,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Okay. Now, do you have anything else to add in tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about stormwater.
Okay.
Oh, stormwater. We love it. So I'm just, we're starting to get some applications in and starting to deal with people, and I just want to give you guys an idea of like types of things are coming in just for fodder for thinking about it. So there's 15 West Main, this is near Mechanic Street, and 140 on the west side, it's kind of, there's a house there. So I haven't even looked at the plans yet, but I made them submit. They thought they could stay under the 20,000 foot threshold, so they're doing administrative land reviews for those properties. I haven't looked at them though, so with plans. And then the other one that I'm reviewing is up on Williams Street, the farm there. Johnny Lindquist, you guys familiar with that land? Anyway, so that's in chapter 60, anyway, he's got an agriculture exemption. And he's like, well, I shouldn't have to do this because I have an agriculture exemption. And I was like, oh, phooey, do we interpret the agriculture exemption for the stormwater bylaw the same way we interpret it for the Wetlands Act? And I would think yes, right? I don't know though, maybe that's a question. And for him, like, so in the way it works with the Wetlands Act is if it's like a new building or a parking lot, that's not necessary for farming, so you'd have to file, right? But if it's like an expanded farm field, fine, whatever. That would be where the exemption comes in. So, and because he's putting up a building, so I'm making him.
Is it agricultural related?
Yeah, it's like I can't even remember what it is. It's gonna be like a metal storage building, but it's big enough to trigger that 1,500. And remember, our low threshold is only 1,500 square feet. So just keep that in your head, and I'm kind of wondering if we want to go back to I don't know, think about it, the 5,000 is the low threshold, but. So I just want to, I think I'll just keep bringing these to you guys, so you know and then for the bigger one, and even I had the conversation with the engineer, for example, for a single family house that's going in, what do we want to require of people for stormwater? Do we want every single family house to get a Coltech system? Maybe do we want them just to at least look at their drainage and say, all right, am I on a steep slope? Yeah, then maybe I need a Coltech system. If it's relatively flat, like the 15 West Main, he's like, oh, it's very sandy soil, there should be no issues here. So he was like, well, what kind of stormwater management are you looking for on that
I think you have to, it has to be site
specific?
specific. It doesn't make sense to have just one blanket rule because it's all different.
Right.
We should take a look at some nearby towns and maybe. That they.
Right, and I think-
See what they've.
Like I know when a lot of nearby towns, it's more of an acre that triggers that more extensive review of a threshold. And even so our 20,000 square foot triggers like a state stormwater checklist, which is doing all the calculations and everything. So I feel like that's maybe a little excessive.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right, and then the other issue, which I think I mentioned, did I talk about how it's confusing about whether it applies to the whole town or not? Did we mention this?
We need to talk.
I talked to you about that, but did the whole board hear this?
You better tell me I'm forgetting. I'm probably forgetting.
So or maybe we did, but the wording, the consulting company made a mistake on the wording. They intended it to be for the whole town, but as it's written, it sounds like any water, any area, any land that drains into the MS4 area, which is kind of the center of town. So there's a southern portion of town which would not be included. So we would have to be like going, oh my gosh, is this property in it? Is it out? It's much easier to just do the whole town.
Right.
Or to leave the bylaw as it is and say, oh, nobody has to do stormwater except if you're going into the MS4 area. But I don't know whether that's what we
What
want.
was the intention when it was originally written? You said the
The consultant, the intention was the whole town
whole time, okay.
with the rather strict, regulations. That's.
Yeah, it's interesting to just see who's, the best practices in nearby towns, or it doesn't even have to be like a budding town, but
Right.
just to see, maybe some town has a lot of experience with this and we can model some of their best practices.
Yeah. So I should talk to more.
Who's
agents.
qualified to look at a site and say what kind of?
Exactly.
That's my question when you were talking about this site and that site.
I know.
Well.
Should
if you look
you
at the
be,
plan,
should it be your responsibility?
The
Or
plan
should
should
it be,
Well,
Yeah,
for
no,
example, like the Fisk Mill, here's someone, 53 Fisk Mill Road, he's got a septic system, but the whole hill behind him is draining onto his property. So that one
this
is,
septic system is gonna be the drain for the whole hillside?
right, so that one's, and I don't know that we typically make people do stormwater, look at stormwater when you're putting a septic system in, but in that situation, it's.
So whoever puts that septic system in would probably be aware of what was happening. Yeah, it's so site specific.
But I don't know. But we kind of maybe our standard is, because I'm having to go through these permits right now, that maybe not necessarily requiring Coltech. I don't know, what do you guys think?
First, you need an optional or
Yeah.
site.
Site specific,
Site
yeah.
specific.
It's nice to I feel like it's nice to have them on the lakeshore properties. I don't know.
We get a year or two under our belt with this bylaw.
Yeah.
And then come back with any recommended changes for town meeting.
Yeah. It's gonna take a while, and I gotta look at the permitting load too, because now every time I do a building permit, I'm like, oh my gosh, 1,500 square feet, is this triggering? But it hasn't been, so it's been four in the last 2 weeks.
Are we the only town that has that low of a? threshold?
No, this model bylaw
Or is
that
it
they
standard, right?
They did it, and I think it's maybe a lower than average threshold, but there's a bunch of other towns that have it, and I wish I should email them and ask them which towns it was. No, I don't think it was anyone close to here, I didn't really recognize the names. And I did email around to the other agents, because I don't even have a form, so I got a couple sample forms, so I think I'm gonna, for Zero Pudding, I'm just gonna go ahead and make one out and wing it, but I'll bring it before you guys in a week or two to see if you guys see what you think.
Can we get any help from the state or the regional planner? Isn't there, what's the?
There is a regional
Circuit
planning.
rider or something?
Yeah, I guess I should ask, I could ask them.
Just
Yeah,
like
that's a good idea.
ask everybody,
Yeah,
cause we're not like original in the world. If we're having a problem with it, I'll bet everybody is.
Yeah, and I should probably try to talk on the phone with some of the agents that are administering these. And in some towns, you know, it's the planning department that does it, or the highway department.
Yeah, well,
So
maybe,
it's not just
maybe you
us.
should do that this time.
Give it to Mike, right?
Mary,
Well,
was that?
I just think the person who's most qualified,
Right,
you know, to do it. And if that's you, well, I'm sorry, but that's. But if it's not, it seems like a planning board kind of a thing, even though it's water. I don't-
right. Well, they review the stormwater for the bigger projects.
You done now?
I'm
Sorry.
done complaining about stormwater.
No, I need to be informed. I don't, not in on all the day-to-day stuff, so.
Yeah, and I'll send out the copies of these applications in case people wanna look at them.
Mary, was that town line, Gary?
Oh,
I'm not
it's
sure.
not sure, I think it might be Town Line Dairy on William Street.
William Street.
They're on
So
William
it's-
Yeah.
Maybe I should buy some meat from them on the way out.
It's to mortgage your house to do it.
That's true,
Yeah.
that's true. Then my husband.
You don't
will be
eat
happy.
meat anyway.
I know, no, we don't usually eat meat, but when my son
Eggs,
comes
they
home,
have
I want it.
eggs. Do you eat eggs?
No, not right now. Okay, that's helpful, it's helping me think about
Okay,
it.
anything else for tonight?
Nope.
Okay. Excellent job, Mary. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
I